This is Seijo Wataru, and he's hopelessly in love with the most beautiful girl in his school, Natsukawa Aika. He confessed to her over 100 times, and she rejected him every single time. It's not that she hates him, she just doesn't see him as anything more than a friend. Seizo has confessed to her over 100 times now, and because of it, his reputation at school is basically destroyed. And yet, Aika still won't accept his feelings. So what happens if he simply stops confessing? Will he actually be able to move on? And once he's gone, will Aika finally start to miss him? You'll find all of that out by watching the full video. The story opens with Seizo doing what he always does, following Aika around. And all Aika wants is to get rid of him somehow. She turns to him and asks, "What is wrong with you? Why do you keep confessing to me over and over when you already know my answer is always going to be no?" The two of them are walking toward their classroom when a ball suddenly comes flying at Seizo. And somehow, in that instant, it's like his whole world freezes, like time itself has stopped just to give him room to think. With all this sudden time on his hands, he calmly starts reflecting. What exactly is he doing with his life? He's been rejected by Aika over 100 times, and he's still chasing after her. People at school have even started calling him a stalker, and Aika's answer is still no. Maybe it's time he accepts that he simply isn't good enough for her. There's a huge gap between them. She's smart and mature, and he's just an idiot. Once he finishes this whole train of thought, the world starts moving again. The ball flies past him, and Aika, worried, asks if he got hit. But once she realizes he's completely fine, she slips right back into her usual mood and says, "God is punishing you, and if you don't stop following me, he's probably going to punish you again." And right after that, something happens that neither Aika nor even Seizo himself saw coming. He decides to stop following her. From now on, he's not going to confess to her again. After making that decision, he walks into the classroom, where he finds Aika sitting with her other friend, Ashida. Ashida says, "I heard God punished you today. Honestly, I think you should stop chasing after her, because if you keep doing this, Aika might actually start hating you." Aika tells her to stop teasing him, but Ashida doesn't hold back. She says, "If I were you, I would have given up a long time ago." Then Seizo says, "You're actually right. I should stop doing this." Both Aika and Ashida can't believe he's actually agreeing. Ashida thinks to herself, "I was just joking around. Why is he taking this so seriously?" And it's not just them, even their teacher is stunned. She says, "Where did the sun rise from today? Because for the first time ever, you're not hovering around Aika." The whole class bursts out laughing except Aika. Once class ends, Seizo heads outside, and Aika stops him and says, "So you're following me again. I knew you couldn't change that fast. When are you actually going to stop this?" But Seizo just says, "I was on my way to the washroom. I wasn't following you." The entire school is stunned all over again, because nobody ever imagined Seizo would actually stop chasing Aika. His friends aren't happy about it either. They ask him what's going on. Why is he suddenly ignoring her? They thought he liked her. Is he really giving up this fast? Seizo tells them he simply isn't good enough for her, and that sets one of his friends off. What kind of nonsense is that? You shouldn't give up this easily. Someday Aika's gonna like you too, just keep trying. But Seizo says it's not that he's stopped liking her, he still does. He just wants to support and encourage her from a distance now. Nobody understands what he means by that. His friends just assume all the rejection has finally broken him. The two of them are sitting in class, and Aika actually wants to talk to him about something, anything at all, but Seizo won't say a word to her. When he gets up to leave, she tries to ask him where he's going, since it's already lunchtime, but she loses her nerve and just says, "Never mind, that just slipped out." Aika's confused about where he's going, since they used to have lunch together every day. While he's eating alone, a cute girl walks up to him and introduces herself as Aizawa. Seizo asks her why she's there and whether she even knows him. She laughs a little and says the whole school knows him. He's the guy who used to follow Aika around everywhere. Seizo brushes it off and asks what she actually wants. She explains that she's in the class next door, her name is Aizawa Renee, and she just came to say hi. She says they'll talk again later. The scene shifts to the next day, where Seizo's friend grabs him and starts shaking him, demanding to know how he could possibly cheat on Aika. Seizo is confused. They're not even dating, so how could he be cheating on anyone? His friend says that doesn't matter, he likes Aika, so how dare he even think about another girl? Seizo has no idea what his friend is talking about, so his friend demands an explanation about who this girl is. That's when we find out the girl is Aizawa, the one he met the day before. Seizo explains she came to see him yesterday. They met during research period, but his friend grabs his collar again, accusing him of lying. Why would a cute girl come to see him unless he'd been chasing her too? Right at that moment, Aika walks in and hears her own name being mentioned. She sees Seizo standing there with the girl, but she doesn't say much. She just makes a face and walks off. Ashida can't resist teasing him either, saying she had no idea he was this popular with girls. After that, Aika starts ignoring him too, thinking, if he's not talking to me, why should I bother talking to him? A little later, Ashida corners Seizo and starts teasing him again, saying she never expected a guy like him to cheat on Aika. Then she drops the sarcasm and says, since they're friends, she wants to warn him about something. That girl doesn't sit right with her. She tells him that Aizawa had a boyfriend not long ago, and the two broke up completely out of nowhere, which doesn't make sense because they used to be inseparable. So something must have happened for her to suddenly show interest in him. As a friend, Ashida warns him to be careful if he's even considering dating her. There's something off about that girl. Seizo fires back that Ashida is way stranger, following him around asking about this. They head back to class, and Seizo's still thinking about Aizawa when she shows up again. This time, Ashida isn't staying quiet. She wants to know exactly why this girl is after Seizo, so she starts provoking her, bad-mouthing Aizawa's ex right in front of her, calling him a total idiot and saying it's a good thing she picked Seizo instead. Sure, he's an idiot too, but at least a much better one. Aika tries to calm things down, but Ashida won't stop. So Aizawa gives her a little piece of her mind and walks off, and Seizo follows after her. On his way, he bumps into another girl, tries to apologize, but she just runs off. Who she is, we'll find out later. Later, he meets Aizawa at the same spot where they first met. He apologizes on Ashida's behalf, saying she sometimes says things without thinking. But Aizawa tells him Ashida wasn't wrong. She was just protecting him, because she'd figured out Aizawa's real intentions. Seizo asks what she means, and she explains that a guy named Aramura had stopped paying any attention to her and kept praising other girls in front of her. So she thought that if she dated someone else, maybe he'd realize what he was losing. But she admits she took it too far. She shouldn't have crossed that line, and she apologizes for using Seizo like that. She tells him they can't date, since he now knows she likes someone else. Seizo says he doesn't mind at all. It's not like this is the first time he's been rejected. She asks how he takes rejection so easily. That's when he tells her his backstory, that even before Aika, he liked another girl. But that girl mocked him badly, and her friends even beat him up. Aika stepped in to save him, and she even gave that girl a piece of her mind. Aika was the only one in the entire school who stood up for him, and that's the moment he decided that if he was ever going to date anyone, it would only be Aika. He says it looks like that dream will probably never come true now, but he's still going to support her from a distance, no matter what. Hearing this motivates Aizawa. If he can do so much for Aika, why can't she do the same for Aramura? She thanks him and leaves. Later, we see the two of them together, and Ashida remarks that the poor guy got rejected by this one too. But Aika isn't even listening. She's lost in her own thoughts, and honestly, she's been thinking about Seizo. Unable to hold back, she goes to his house. They've been childhood friends, but this is the first time she's ever shown up there. Seizo is surprised too, asking who gave her his address, and figures something serious must be going on if she's actually there. She tells him that he's been acting really strange lately. He used to follow her around and bother her all the time, but for the past several days he's been unusually quiet. Is something wrong that he's not telling her about? Why the sudden change? And that's when he ends up confessing to her again. He tells her he's finally realized what he was doing, that he was wasting both his time and hers, especially knowing what her answer would always be. So he's finally decided to stop asking. And just as he's about to say one more thing, his sister walks in and starts teasing them, saying he had such a beautiful girlfriend and never told her. Seizo snaps at her, saying eavesdropping isn't a good habit, and tells Aika they should get going. Aika is stunned to learn that Seizo's sister is the vice president of the student council, and she can't believe he's her brother. As the two of them walk off, Aika, still distracted, asks him what he was about to say earlier. He asks what she means, and she reminds him he was in the middle of saying something before his sister interrupted, and then he went quiet. Now that they're alone, he can tell her. So he finishes his sentence. All he wanted to say was that from today on, he won't bother her anymore. They're nothing more than classmates now. Hearing this hurts Aika a lot. Sure, she never liked him that way, but she still considered him a friend. Seizo, on the other hand, now sees her as just a classmate. He even adds that if she has a friend who'd be a good match for him, she could introduce them. Aika almost slaps him for that, but instead just calls him an idiot and storms off, leaving poor Seizo completely confused about what just happened. It even feels like the universe wants them apart because right around this time their seats get changed, and if you don't know, in Japan you can't just sit wherever you want. Seating gets reassigned every week or month. This time, Seizo ends up sitting far away from her. Ashida teases Aika about how far apart they are now, one more excuse for her to stay distant from him. But then Ashida points out, the poor girl is completely alone now, since besides you and me, she don't really has any other friends. That's when Seizo realizes his mistake. The reason she has no friends is entirely his own doing, because he spent every waking hour chasing after Aika. Other people never even considered approaching him, assuming he was a bit strange, and that's exactly why Aika could never make friends of her own either. But he decides that won't happen anymore. If he stays away from her, she'll finally be able to build friendships. As he's heading out of class, he runs into Rin, the most popular student in the entire school, since she's the student council president. Rin tells him she heard how he upset her friend the day before. Seizo assumes she means the girl he bumped into, and without hesitation apologizes. But Rin says she was just joking, he doesn't need to apologize, since she knows it was an accident. She explains that the girl actually wanted to apologize to him herself, but couldn't come because she's afraid of boys. Rin tells him her name is Yu, a very sensible, kind girl who's also a council member, but her one problem is that she has zero confidence, which isn't great for someone on the council. Rin admits she's tried many times to encourage her, but nothing seems to work, and the same goes for the rest of the council members. Their whole job is to motivate other students, and that's hard to do when their own members struggle with it. Seizo tells her she doesn't need to keep pushing Yu to be more outgoing. She just needs to show her that she's there for her, no matter what, and that alone would be enough. Rin says she'll try, and then asks if she can get his name so she can find him again, since Yu wants to apologize properly. Not wanting to get dragged into any trouble, Seizo gives her a fake name, Yamaki, borrowed from a friend. The scene shifts to the next day. On the way to school, Seizo runs into Aika, and neither of them says a word to the other, even though there's clearly something Aika wants to say. As soon as he steps into school, Ashida comes running up to him, asking what exactly he's done, because the student council president is looking for him. We then see Rin together with Yu. Rin asks him why he lied to her yesterday. He could have just given her his real name. He admits he panicked in the moment. He didn't want the council president to know his name, worried it might cause problems if he ended up on her radar. Rin tells him they'll discuss it at lunch, and that he'd better show up. She won't take no for an answer. This time, even Ashida is annoyed with him, grabbing him by the collar and demanding to know how he knows Rin, since Ashida actually has a crush on her. Seizo just says it's a long story and he'll explain later. At lunch, he goes to their office and Yu apologizes to him. She explains that she ran off that day because she's scared of boys, but she's trying to overcome that fear, and apologizing to him is her way of starting. Still, her apology doesn't seem to sit well with Seizo, though he doesn't say anything and just walks away. As he's heading to class, Ashida calls him over to show him how many friends Aika has made now. It turns out they're all looking at photos of her little sister, Eri, who's only 5. Seeing this makes Seizo happy. Now that he's kept his distance, Aika is finally able to make friends, so he doesn't go over and interrupt them, and instead heads to help his sister, K.O.'d, who needs help getting ready for the summer festival. With nothing else to do, he figures he might as well lend a hand. Meanwhile, Yu is still feeling down. She tells Rin she doesn't think Seizo was happy. It feels like he still hasn't forgiven her. Rin reassures her it's not her fault, and that she'll talk to him about it tomorrow. The next day, Aika has even more friends now, and this time they're all planning to go to her house to meet her little sister. Aika is thrilled that she's finally making friends, and they're all coming over. But when Seizo arrives, Aika flatly tells him not to even think about coming near Eri and to just stay away. He doesn't push back at all. He simply says if she doesn't want to invite him, he won't come to her house. Aika hadn't expected him to give up that quickly, and now she feels bad about how she spoke to him. She spends the rest of class thinking about how to invite him properly. As soon as he steps out of class, she stops him and asks if he's really not coming to her house today. But before she can finish, Rin shows up from behind and pulls him away, and since Rin is the vice council president, there's nothing Aika can do about it. Rin takes him aside privately and tells him Yu is still upset, feeling like he isn't happy with her apology. Seizo admits that's true, she did apologize, but he wasn't satisfied, because if she really wants to get over her fear, she needs to be the one apologizing to him directly. The fact that she brought Rin along to do it shows her fear hasn't actually gone away, and if she keeps relying on Rin for everything, she'll never grow. and deep down, she knows that too. If she truly wants to overcome her fear, she needs to do it without anyone's help. Meanwhile, back at Aika's house, everyone is having a great time, all enjoying Eri's company since she's so adorable. Everyone except Aika. For some reason, she keeps glancing toward the door, and Ida can tell exactly who she's waiting for, though she doesn't say anything. Now it's warm summer weather, and while sitting in class looking through the photos from Aika's house, Ida notices that even in those pictures, Aika looks a little troubled, constantly glancing toward the door. And even now, Aika keeps looking over at Seizo, though she never actually talks to him. Meanwhile, since Seizo is sitting alone, his friend drags him over to sit with another girl, a really rude one who immediately starts saying strange things to him. Aika doesn't like this at all, so she steps in, pulls him away toward the music room. She's clearly furious, asking him what exactly he thinks he's doing with that girl, since he should know what kind of person she is. Seizo has no idea why she's upset and tries asking her, but she storms off without answering. He spends the rest of the day wondering what she meant. Is she jealous? Though the odds of that seem pretty slim. Ida tells him not to overthink it so much that he makes himself sick. Just then, another council member shows up and pulls Seizo away again. Aika can't understand what's going on with his life. Why does someone keep dragging him off like this? We then see the council member start asking Seizo some personal questions. Why he stopped following that girl, and why he's become so quiet lately. At first, Seizo refuses to explain why he should share his personal life, but the council member tells him it's about his sister. Apparently, she's been feeling down because she thinks it's her fault he gave up on Aika. Seizo asks why she'd think that, and the member explains that she's always teasing him and treating him like her servant, piling on chores, so she assumes she's the reason his confidence dropped and he gave up on the girl he liked. That's why she's upset. They've tried everything to cheer her up, but nothing's worked, so he should talk to her himself. Seizo can't believe his sister actually cares about him that much. He always figured she only knew how to torment him, so he agrees to go see her, and Ida and Aika end up following the two of them, curious about where they're headed. Seizo goes up to the rooftop, where he finds K.O.'d, who's shocked to see him there and tells him he shouldn't be up there. He explains that the council member told him everything, about how she's been feeling down because of him. K.O.'d finally tells him the truth. Yes, she's been upset because she can't believe how quickly he moved on. He used to like Aika so much, talking about her all day, every day, and then suddenly it was like she didn't matter to him at all anymore. She thinks it's because of her, because she's always teasing him and mocking his looks, which probably made him feel like he wasn't good enough for Aika. And honestly, she admits she's been through the same thing herself. A lot of times, the person we like just doesn't like us back, and no matter how much we try to show the world it doesn't bother us, inside we're completely broken. She knows giving up isn't easy, and she doesn't want him to go through the same thing she did. So from now on, she promises she'll never tease him again or make him do chores like a servant. She just wants him to be happy. But Seizo tells her to stop talking nonsense. Does she really think that'll make him feel better? And besides, no matter how much she's teased him over the years, he's never actually minded it, because deep down he knows she cares about him. She doesn't need to change for his sake. If anything, it would feel weirder if she suddenly started being nice to him. Aika is listening to all of this from outside without hearing the whole conversation, so she assumes he's scolding his sister. She throws the door open and grabs him by the collar, demanding he apologize to his sister right now. How dare he talk to his own sister like that? Seizo tries to explain that's not what happened, they were just talking. But then he asks what the two of them are even doing up there. That's when it hits Aika. What exactly is she doing here? Has she started following Seizo around the way he used to follow her? The moment she realizes it, she runs off again. Seizo, confused, wonders what's gotten into her. She comes to him and then runs off without saying anything. He doesn't understand it, but K.O. does, though she doesn't say anything either, just calls him an idiot and leaves. Seizo tells her she didn't need to change so fast. She's already back to being her old troublesome self. Still, he's happy, because now that K.O. isn't upset anymore, things can go back to normal. Later, Ida and Aika are sitting at a cafe. Aika genuinely wants to know why she's been feeling off lately. Even when their friends came over to her house, she found herself thinking about Seizo without knowing why. And she's not sure why it bothered her so much when Eri got along so well with Sasaki. Ida suggests that maybe she wanted her little sister to meet Seizo first, but unfortunately, Sasaki got there before him. Aika asks why that would even matter, since she used to be so annoyed by Seizo following her everywhere. Ida admits she gets that. Sure, his methods were a little strange, but he never once backed down from confessing his real feelings. And now that he's gone, slowly but surely, Aika has realized she might actually like him too. If Seizo isn't coming to her anymore, maybe it's her turn now. She should be the one to go to him. So the next day, she tries a few times to approach him, but he's always busy, and she doesn't quite have the courage to talk to him either. Seizo is having lunch alone outside, and the council members find him there. Yu invites him to join them for lunch, but he declines. Rin steps in and tells him not to turn her down. Yu's worked so hard just to be able to talk to boys, so he should go along with what she wants. There's another girl with them, Aya, who isn't too fond of Seizo at first but stays quiet because of her friends. After lunch, Aya and Yu leave, and Seizo asks Rin what's happened to Yu. She's talking to him so freely now, like all her fear is gone. Rin tells him that meeting him changed her a lot. She can talk to others comfortably now, and it's all because of him. After this, Seizo heads back to class and sees Aika still with her friends. He still has feelings for her, but he can't go to her anymore. He has to hold himself back. He still believes he isn't good enough for her, and starts thinking that maybe Sasaki is the right guy for her instead, since he's good at both sports and academics. Even though Seizo feels jealous, he doesn't act on it, because Aika's happiness matters more to him, so he completely avoids both of them. Whenever she's around, he changes his path, and after school, when she's walking with Sasaki, he decides to leave a bit later so their paths won't cross. But he's surprised to see Aika come back. She'd forgotten something, though that's not the real reason. She actually wanted a chance to talk to him alone, and she asks him directly where he disappears to during lunch break, since he used to eat with them, but he's been vanishing for days now. Is everything okay? He tells her he's been eating outside lately. She asks why he's eating alone and offers that he can sit with them again if he wants. He tells her he wasn't alone. He was with Rin and the other council members. After hearing that, Aika doesn't have much left to say, and the two of them go their separate ways. The next day, it's pouring rain, and a truck suddenly comes toward them. So Seizo jumps in front to shield Aika, keeping her from getting soaked. But because of that, he ends up drenched himself and gets a really bad fever, bad enough that he passes out. Aika and Ashida take him to the nurse's office so he can rest. After that, Aika can't focus in class at all. She spends the whole time worrying about how he's doing. She decides she'll go check on him once class is over. By the time class ends, Seizo is already awake, but he's still in bad shape. Just as Aika is about to place her hand on his forehead to check his temperature, he snaps at her not to touch him. For a moment, she's stunned, wondering what's wrong with him. He explains that if she touches him, she might catch his cold too, so it's better if she keeps her distance. Especially since if she catches it, her little sister Eri could get sick too. Right after that, Kaode and Rin also show up, and when they check his temperature, he doesn't stop them at all. Seeing this, Aika pouts, wondering why he isn't telling them to back off too. He's in such bad shape that he doesn't even come to school the next day, and Aika, unable to sit still, goes with Ashida to his house. Aika tells him she came because he got sick because of her. That's the only reason. Seizo can't believe Aika is doing all this for him, since she never used to come to his house before. But now this is the second time she's shown up since he stopped following her around. The next day, we see another girl approach Aika, Marika, a foreign exchange student. She asks Aika to support her campaign to become the next council member. Marika wants Aika on her side because she sees her as a potential obstacle. If Aika backs her, people will vote for her, since if Aika tells people to vote for Marika, they will. But Seizo is completely against the idea. He points out that if that happens, everyone will start asking why Aika isn't running herself, since if Marika brings her onto her team, Aika alone would steal the entire spotlight because she's cuter than Marika. Hearing this, Marika storms off, and Aika starts blushing. Seizo is confused about why she's blushing. He's called her cute 1,000 times before. Ashida explains that things were different back then. Before, he used to say that word constantly all day long, but now it seems like his words are actually affecting her. Embarrassed, Aika runs off. Seizo goes right back to acting normal around Ashida, but not around Aika, and Ashida starts to worry. Did Seizo really give up? He heads over to the cafeteria area, where the council members call him over again. Yu invites him to eat with them, and seeing this, Ayato isn't happy at all. Rin, who knows the whole story, gets a little jealous too, asking what kind of magic he's using on her, since she used to never even talk to boys, and look at her now. He tells her he's not using any magic. Yu probably just trusts him, that's all. Rin then says, setting that aside, they want him to officially join them as a council member, since they can clearly see how good he is at motivating people and reading others. Hearing this, Yu gets excited and grabs his hand, and everything happens so fast he doesn't even have time to react. He pulls his hand back and says he can't be a council member. Yu doesn't mind him pulling away, but the other two get upset, asking how he could reject Yu like that, especially when she asked him so sweetly, and on top of that, he even pushed her hand away. After lunch ends, he heads back to class with his hair a complete mess. He thinks to himself it's a good thing he said no, because if he'd actually joined the council, he'd have to be around them all the time, and if that happened, Aya would probably end his life. As he's walking, he runs into Aika, who notices his messed up hair and starts fixing it herself. The whole school is stunned by what Aika's doing, and even she doesn't fully realize it until much later, at which point she quickly walks off, confused about why she's getting so close to Seizo when she used to be so bothered by him following her around all the time. Summer break is approaching, but the students' troubles aren't over yet, because some of them are selected to prepare for the summer festival and to welcome the incoming students, meaning they have to stay behind during summer break. In the past, Seizo would have stayed too, just because Aika was staying. But this time, he declines, and Sasaki takes his place instead. Ashida gets frustrated with him, asking how he could pass up such a perfect chance to spend time alone with Aika. Now Sasaki's taken his spot, and what if the two of them get closer and Aika forgets all about him? But Seizo just says it's for the best. The two of them actually look good together. Ashida can't figure out how to bring the two of them together anymore, since Seizo has basically given up completely. So Ashida and Aika go to a cafe, talking about club activities and other things, when Ashida suggests they all go check out the summer festival together, and maybe invite some other friends too. Aika likes the idea, but then adds, almost as an afterthought, what if they invite Seizo too? Ashida tells her to just invite him herself if she wants to, though secretly, she was hoping Seizo would come along too, which is why she brought his name up in the first place, not wanting her friend to spend the summer alone. But this time, Ashida was wrong. Seizo wasn't going to be spending this summer alone after all. We see Seizo working at a bookstore this time, figuring that since it's summer break and he doesn't have any friends around, he might as well earn some money. While working there, he notices some older guys bothering a little kid, and without hesitation, he steps in between them, even telling them he's ready to fight if that's what they want. But since the guys recognize him as the main character, they back off and leave without a fight. The kid tells him his name is Kota Sasaki, he got lost, and then some other kids started bothering him. Seizo tells him not to worry, and offers to call his family if he remembers the number. Soon after, Kota's older sister shows up. Her name is Sasaki Fuka. Seizo explains everything that happened, and Fuka thanks him for helping her little brother. Seizo, meanwhile, is completely captivated by her beauty. He can't believe how gorgeous she is, assuming she must be a college student, and not just beautiful but gentle too, with such a soft voice and clearly so caring toward her little brother. The next day, he's still thinking about Fuka, wondering if he'll ever run into her again. She was just that beautiful. Luck seems to be on his side, though, because Fuka actually comes into his shop. She asks if he works there, saying she comes by often but has never seen him before. He can't believe she's actually there, assuming she must be there to buy a book. But when he asks to confirm, she says no. She didn't even know there was a bookstore nearby. She actually came just to see him. She was too nervous and flustered the day before to properly thank him, so she came back today, and besides, she says she'd enjoy spending time with him. Since he works at a bookstore, he must be really smart. Seizo tells her he feels lucky too, since it's the first time he's ever gotten to spend time with such a mature girl. Blushing, she tells him no one's ever called her mature before. Everyone always tells her she's too childish, and sometimes they won't even let her go out. Why she says this, we'll find out later. He asks if she's heading to campus, but she says her school isn't really a campus. It's not even that big and it's all girls. She asks about his school, and he tells her he goes to Kotsu High School. She's surprised, saying that's the biggest school in the city, and she's heard the uniforms are really cute. She tells him if he goes to that school, he must be really smart. Seizo is having a great time with her, thinking about how mature she is and how politely she talks to him despite being a college student, since he always assumed college students were rude. She blushes again and tells him to stop complimenting her so much. Something's bugging him, but he tries to convince himself not to overthink it. He could never impress a girl like this anyway. She's way out of his league. She talks a bit about her brother, mentioning how Kota kept talking about him like a hero who saved his life. Now he thinks of Seizo as an idol. The shop owner arrives, so Fuka says she should get going, and hands him a small gift for helping her brother. Before leaving, she blushes and asks if they could meet again tomorrow, if he doesn't mind. Of course he doesn't mind, he was about to ask the same thing. After she leaves, he opens the gift to see what she got him. He assumes it's a handkerchief, but when he looks closer, it's covered in little dolphin designs, and he's a bit disappointed. Does she see him as a kid? He'd had such high expectations, but it seems like she just sees him as a child. From then on, Fuka starts coming to the bookstore every day, just to spend time with him, because she genuinely enjoys his company. Seizo notices a bracelet on her wrist that he really likes, and it makes him think of Aika. He remembers her birthday is coming up right after the summer festival, so maybe he could get her a similar bracelet as a gift. He asks Fuka where she got it, and she tells him she didn't buy it. She made it herself, one for her and one for her father. Seizo is surprised again that even as a college student, she's still so close to her dad. A stark contrast to his own sister Kaode, who, ever since starting high school, acts like she owns the place. He finds it a little strange sometimes that even though she's grown up, some of Fuka's behavior still feels very teenage. Fuka suggests they go together. She'll show him the shop where she made it, and they can hang out while they're at it. So the two of them head over. Fuka seems completely normal on the way out of the shop, but as they get closer to the station, she starts getting nervous. When Seizo asks why, she admits she's worried her friends might spot her. He assumes she's nervous they'll think he's her boyfriend, but she clarifies that's not it. It's about the outfit she's wearing, since she normally doesn't dress like this. Seizo's even more confused now. The outfit looks completely normal, especially for a college student. Fuka explains that she usually wears her middle school uniform, and this is the first time she's worn something like this. Seizo finds this strange, wondering what kind of fantasy this is. Why would she prefer wearing a middle school uniform? But he doesn't judge her for it or ask further questions. They head to the shop near the beach. Meanwhile, on that same beach, Aika, Eri, and Ashida happen to be there too. Ashida is still thinking about Seizo, worried that her poor friend must be sitting alone at home, so she suggests they invite him along too, partly hoping this would give Aika and Seizo some time together. But Seizo isn't home, so the three of them go on without him. Meanwhile, Seizo is completely lost in Fuka's beauty, thinking about how innocent and pure she seems. He can't believe someone like her has never dated anyone. But he knows he can't confess his feelings to her, at least not right now, because he doesn't want to risk ruining their friendship. The two of them arrive at the jewelry shop, which is filled with handmade pieces. The shop owner recognizes Fuka right away, since she's been there many times before with her father. Seizo, not knowing much about jewelry, tells the owner he wants something he can give to a friend. Fuka asks how close this friend is, and he says, let's just say very close. Fuka tells him that if the person means that much to him, he shouldn't just buy something. He should make it himself because even if it doesn't turn out perfect, the fact that he put in the effort will mean so much more to his friend. So he agrees to listen and learn. Outside the shop, Aika, Eri, and Ashida are enjoying themselves nearby. Meanwhile, the two of them sit down to start making jewelry, but Seizo's eyes catch a photo on the wall. Apparently the shop displays photos of everyone who's made jewelry there. There's a photo of Fuka and her father, but something about it looks off. In the photo, she's wearing a junior high school uniform. Seizo asks if she has a younger sister who's in junior high, but Fuka tells him she doesn't have a younger sister. That's actually her in the photo. This hits him like a punch to the gut. He tries to convince himself he's wrong, thinking maybe she just likes cosplay, and that's why she was wearing a junior high uniform in the photo. But Fuka bursts out laughing, telling him he's being ridiculous. Why would she cosplay? If she's in junior high, of course she'd wear her school uniform. That's when it truly hits him. His entire world turns upside down. Fuka isn't a college student at all. She's actually still in junior high, meaning she's younger than him. Suddenly everything starts making sense. Why she acted so much like a teenager, why she's still so close to her parents, and that whole thing about the outfit. This whole time he'd been completely wrong. She just looks mature for her age, but she's actually younger than him. All his hopes come crashing down. He'd finally found a girl who gave him this much attention, who genuinely liked him, and he liked her too. But Seizo didn't want any accusations thrown his way, so he tells himself he needs to get these thoughts out of his head. At least, he figures they can still be good friends. Meanwhile, Aika, Eri, and Ashida are still enjoying the beach, and Ashida spots the same jewelry shop where Seizo and Fuka are. The three of them decide to check it out, but by the time they get there, no one's around, since Seizo and Fuka have already left. None of them realize Seizo was even there, except Eri, who happens to spot his photo on the wall, though since she doesn't actually know who Seizo is, she doesn't say anything. Later, while the three of them are outside eating ice cream, Aika catches a glimpse of Seizo with a girl. She mentions it to Ashida, who jokes that maybe he was actually on a date. But they both know that's unlikely, he was probably just working at the shop. Meanwhile, Seizo heads home, and Ashida messages him, asking how he dared reject their invitation and where he'd been all day, since he never showed up at their place, adding that he has no idea what he missed. To rub it in, she sends him a photo of Aika in her swimsuit. Seizo starts thinking about Aika again, wondering how she'll react to his gift, the bracelet he made with his own hands, once her birthday finally arrives. The next day, the shop owner is looking to hire new staff, which surprises Seizo since the shop isn't big enough to need more people, and there wasn't even a hiring notice posted. The first person to show up for an interview turns out to be none other than Seizo's classmate, Mina. She shows the old man her resume, but he hires her on the spot without even looking at it. After she leaves, Seizo asks the owner why he did that. He should have at least interviewed her properly. He explains that he knows her well, but the owner insists he trusts Mina completely, and tells Seizo that since he's now her senior, he needs to teach her everything he knows. The very first lesson he gives her is that nodding alone won't cut it. If she wants to boost sales, she needs to actually respond to customers verbally. But she responds to even that with just a nod. Honestly, she wasn't really cut out for this job. Her communication skills weren't great, she couldn't lift heavy things, and she couldn't organize the books properly either. So the owner puts her at the counter, figuring that at least it'll help build her confidence. But her very first customer is a really talkative and difficult man who keeps asking for all sorts of strange books. Mina has no idea how to handle the situation, since he won't stop rambling and she just freezes up completely. Eventually, Seizo has to step in, and by then Mina is so overwhelmed that she starts crying. Seizo realizes she's just not going to be able to work here. She's terrified of even talking to people, and she's already crying over it. If this continues, he warns, the shop's reputation will suffer, and he even questions how the owner could hire her without checking her skills first. The old man explains he did it on purpose. He's known Mina for a long time, since she used to be a regular customer, but lately she's become extremely withdrawn, and he couldn't just watch that happen. So he hired her here so she'd have somewhere to feel happy. Seizo realizes the owner has a point, since Mina doesn't really have any close friends at school either, so she's probably been feeling isolated, and at least working here will keep her busy. He understands the reasoning, but insists she'll still need to change if she wants to keep this job. So he sits down with her and explains kindly that no one's good on their first day, even he made plenty of mistakes early on. But she needs to learn to speak up, because if she doesn't talk to customers, they'll assume she's arrogant or that she doesn't want to sell them anything. He tells her he knows it won't be easy, but this is her chance to change. Nobody's gonna judge her for messing up, she just needs to keep trying, mistakes and all. He asks her directly whether she can commit to changing for this job or not, and if not, she's free to quit right now. Hearing this, Mina gets emotional and says she can't give up, especially not this time, and begs him not to fire her, bowing her head so he won't let her go. Seizo gets flustered, realizing he only meant to motivate her, not scare her this badly. He tells her to get up repeatedly, but she won't listen, until he finally tells her he's not gonna fire her. Besides, it's not even his shop to begin with. Only then does Mina finally stand up. That night, Seizo is relaxing at home while Aika and Ashida chat over a video call. Ashida mentions that Seizo hasn't been spending time with them lately, and Aika guesses he's probably busy at the shop. Just then, a message from him pops up in their group chat. He explains he got home late from the shop and fell asleep, which is why he hadn't replied. Ashida tells him to just pick up the video call now that he's awake, so the three of them start talking, though Aika keeps her camera off. Seizo tells them he needs their help, since he's a bit troubled. He made a girl practically get down on her knees today. He doesn't tell them yet that the girl is actually their classmate Mina. Ashida jokingly teases him, saying he's slowly turning into someone who forces girls to their knees. She never expected this from him. Seizo tells her to stop making him feel guiltier, since he actually came here for advice. But Aika defends him, saying it's not his fault at all, since he's her senior, and he didn't say anything wrong. Whatever he said, he clearly thought it through. Even if he'd fired the girl from the shop, it still wouldn't have been his fault. Ashida then makes up an excuse and hangs up, purposely giving the two of them some time alone, since she's been trying so hard to get Aika and Seizo together. Now that it's just the two of them, they try to have a normal conversation. Seizo asks how she's been, since it's been a while since they last saw each other. They haven't met up since the start of summer break. She pouts and says that's his own fault. They've invited him so many times and he keeps turning them down. Then Aika tells him that if he wants to talk more about his junior, he can just call her. She's happy to help. But just as she's about to hang up, Seizo hangs up first, and Aika pouts, since she's always the one who ends the call first. Now Seizo is hanging up like he doesn't even care. The next day, Seizo heads back to the shop, expecting Mina might not show up after everything he said. But she's there, and not only that, she's completely different. She's actually talking to customers now, not perfectly, but for her, it's a huge improvement. Seizo asks her where all this new confidence is coming from, telling her she's doing amazing, and she says his words really motivated her. Everything seems to be going well, but Seizo thinks that if he wants to really connect with her, he should ask her some personal questions. Maybe that'll help her open up and trust him more. So he asks why she's working this job in the first place. She tells him it's because she doesn't want to depend on her brother anymore. She explains that she and her brother used to be really close. They'd read books together and enjoy each other's company, until a certain girl came between them. Hearing this, Seizo realizes he's getting into territory that's a bit too personal, but Mina keeps opening up. She tells him that ever since that girl came into her brother's life, he stopped talking to her properly. Turns out her brother is actually a council member too, and the girl she's talking about, Yuri, is also a council member. Seizo thinks this is getting too personal. He doesn't want to get involved in someone else's family drama. He realizes this is really a family issue. Mina was the youngest in the house and used to get all the attention, but once Yuri came into the picture, her brother started focusing on her instead. So to distract herself and become more independent, Mina decided to start working. Seizo supports her decision, and right at that moment, Fuka walks into the shop, not to buy a book, but as always, just to see Seizo. That's when a great idea strikes him. He knows how extroverted Fuka is. She gets along with practically anyone, so if he can get her and Mina to become friends, that would be perfect. So he introduces them, telling Fuka that Mina loves reading books just like she does, and that's all it takes. Fuka immediately grabs her hand and starts firing off questions about her favorite books, how many she's read, what she's reading now. All these questions make Mina nervous, but she's happy that someone else shares her love of reading. She recommends a book to Fuka, who ends up buying it, and Seizo compliments Mina on making her very first sale. She's improving day by day. As they're wrapping up for the day and about to head home, Seizo spots Kuma, who's come looking for Mina. But Mina doesn't want to face him, so she hides behind Seizo. Seizo knows she's not ready to talk to him since she's still upset, so he suggests they all sit down and talk it out properly, because if they keep avoiding each other, nothing will get resolved. As if that weren't enough, Yuri shows up too, the very reason for all this tension. Yuri apologizes first, saying she never meant to make Mina feel this way. She knows her brother has been paying less attention to her since she came into the picture, and that's why Mina started working here. She acknowledges that Mina is shy and introverted and still just a kid, so she apologizes for putting her in a position where she felt forced to take this job, and asks her to come home and quit. This work isn't right for her. Mina wants to say something but can't get the words out, so Seizo speaks up for her, saying they're completely wrong. It's not that Mina can't handle this job. Sure, she's still a bit new at it, but she's learning step by step, and through this work, she's slowly building real confidence. If they let her keep working here, it'll be good for her as a person too. Besides, it's not up to him or them to decide. Only Mina can decide what she wants to do. All they can do is support her. And Mina decides she wants to keep working there. Seizo has made another friend. Meanwhile, Aika is going to school even during summer break for the summer festival and new student preparations, and she's been getting a lot closer to Sasaki, since the two of them spend the whole day together with barely anyone else around at school. Aika doesn't realize it, but Sasaki has slowly started developing feelings for her, and the day when Aika starts liking him back might not be too far off either, since Sasaki is better than Seizo in pretty much every way. As summer break comes to an end, Mina has improved a lot too, largely thanks to Seizo and Fuka, since she's able to talk openly with them about books. Seeing this makes Seizo happy. Just then, he gets a message from Kaode, and once he finishes work, he heads straight to her. Kaode tells him that now that he's taken care of Mina, maybe he should think about her for a change. Seizo is baffled. How does she even know Mina's working with him? Kaode reminds him she's the vice president, so nothing gets past her. Seizo asks why she called him over. She explains that she needs his help, school's about to reopen, and to make the school look good and welcome the new students, they need him. Seizo asks why they'd need him specifically, since as far as he remembers, they already recruited several students from their class like Aika, Sasaki, and others. Kaode explains that even though they took students from several classes, admissions this year are much higher than usual, so the council members need extra hands, especially Rin, since the entire workload has fallen on her shoulders. Rin apparently told Kaode that Seizo turned down her offer to join the council. Kaode has no idea what would happen with Aya if he actually joined, so he don't even try to talk about it. He just tells her he doesn't think he is good enough for it and that she should pick someone who actually can do the job. Kaode tells him that Rin thinks of him like a little brother, and here he is, refusing to even help her. Seizo gives in, telling her to stop guilt-tripping him. He'll help. Kaode tells him he should tell Rin himself. It'll mean more coming from him. So he calls Rin, who's initially confused why Seizo is calling from Kode's phone. He tells her he's ready to help, but Rin calmly turns him down, saying she can manage on her own. She's still a bit annoyed that he turned down joining the council. Seizo tells her she can't stop him. She's the one who said she thinks of him like a little brother, so as a good little brother, he has to help her. Rin relents and tells him he can help, but warns him it won't be easy. She'll fill him in on the details tomorrow, and hangs up. The next day at school, he runs into Rin, who still can't quite look him in the eye. She tells him this is a lot of work and will require serious effort. Is he sure he can handle it? Seizo tells her his older sister never cares about that stuff anyway, always treating him like her personal servant, so she doesn't need to worry. He's ready to do whatever work she needs. Rin tells him his job is moving things around to help set everything up. As he's leaving, he spots a classroom where some of his friends are sitting: Aizawa, the foreign exchange student, Sasaki, and Aika. Seeing Sasaki and Aika together, Seizo just walks off, reminding himself he's only there to work, nothing else. Rin then takes him to the council office to introduce him to the other members, but it turns out he already has such a reputation that everyone already knows him. In fact, they all start thanking him for helping out. Yuyu, Yuri, and even Kuma. He's already earned a place in everyone's hearts. Meanwhile, Sasaki is also trying to win a place in Aika's heart. He tells her his soccer match is in 2 weeks and asks if she'll come watch. But Aika turns him down flatly, saying she needs to look after Eri and can't make it. She apologizes for rejecting his offer. Sasaki feels a bit hurt, but understands. She has a little sister to take care of. After this moment, Aika slips into a flashback, taking us back to when she was in middle school. Turns out, just like she rejected Sasaki today, she used to reject all her friends back then too. Whenever anyone asked her to hang out, whether it was going out or a picnic, she turned everyone down, all because she had to look after Eri. Both her parents worked, and Eri was still very young, so she couldn't be left alone. Aika never had time to make friends, so she was completely alone, without anyone, simply because she never had time for friendships. That's the same reason she helped Seizo back then, when he'd fallen in front of everyone and people were mocking him. Aika didn't care what anyone thought and just stepped in to support him. In her thoughts, she reflects that she didn't do it because she's such a good person. The truth is, she helped him that day because she saw a reflection of herself in him. He was just as alone as she was. No friends, no one by his side, exactly like her. And when everyone started mocking him, she just couldn't watch it happen. That's why she helped him that day. But she had no idea that from that day on, he'd start following her everywhere. As it turns out, right after that incident, during research period, he confessed to her. Even though he didn't even know her name yet, he asked her out. But Aika didn't laugh at him or make fun of him. She politely turned him down, telling him she couldn't date anyone given her situation. The real reason she said no was that if Seizo came between her studies and taking care of Eri, everything would fall apart. She wouldn't be able to focus on either her studies or Eri, and her entire future would be ruined. So she said no outright. Seizo tried to ask why, but at that point, they barely knew each other, so she didn't explain. Even though rejecting him didn't feel great, she'd broken someone's heart. She had no idea this boy was shameless enough to keep chasing her right after. Aika became the talk of the entire school. People kept asking her why this strange boy kept following her around. Some of her friends even talked about beating him up, but Aika managed to smooth things over each time. She figured it was just 1 year, and then she'd go to a different school and he'd go to his own. But as exams got closer, Seizo suddenly started ignoring her, just like he's doing now. Even back then, that had stung a little, though they weren't close friends at that point. Later, Aika realized he'd been ignoring her so he could focus on getting good grades, since he wanted to get into the same school as her. And even after starting at the new school, he never changed his old habits. That's around when Ashida became his other close friend. The two of them were meeting Ashida for the first time, and she quickly became best friends with both Seizo and Aika. Seizo never once stopped following her. But now, she can barely catch a glimpse of him. Suddenly she snaps out of her flashback. Somehow, she just knows Seizo is nearby, and she starts running through the entire school looking for him. She knows she's acting a little crazy, but she just needs to see his face one more time. Ever since summer break started, she hasn't run into him in person, and right now, she'd do anything to see him. She searches every corner of the school and finally runs straight into him. For the first time since summer break began, Aika is seeing him face to face, and she's overjoyed. At first, she seems surprised herself, not fully realizing how close she's gotten to him, and she's talking to him with so much warmth. Seizo can hardly believe this is the same Aika he knew before school let out for summer. The difference between the two is night and day. Setting everything else aside, he asks her why she was running off in such a hurry, and Aika doesn't even try to hide it. She admits she came looking for him. She tells him it's been so long since they've spent any real time together in months. Seizo explains it's not that he didn't want to see her, he's just been busy, spending all day at the shop and coming home exhausted. He then notices she's gotten a bit tanned, and she says it's because she went to the beach with Ash Ida, though Seizo already knew that. He tells her Ash Ida had already sent him a photo of her. Blushing, she asks if Ash Ida really sent that photo to him. She thought Ash Ida was just joking. She asks if he at least deleted it, and demands he hand over his phone so she can check herself. As she goes to check, the two of them end up standing incredibly close, closer than they've ever been before. It's like time stops for both of them. Neither one pulls away, but unfortunately, Ash Ida shows up right then, forcing them both back to reality. Ash Ida apologizes to Aika for interrupting such a nice moment between them, but Aika insists it was nothing. Ash Ida then tells Seizo that if he had to work, he could have just joined Aika's team instead. That way he could have spent the whole time with her. But Seizo declines, saying he's only there for physical labor, moving heavy things around, while the guiding of new students is meant for the two of them. Apparently, they specifically pick students who look good and come across as smart to attract the new kids, and if someone as ordinary as him tried to guide them, half the students would probably run off. But Aika firmly disagrees, telling him he's not ordinary at all. Has he forgotten how he helped Mina? He's great at guiding people and understanding them, and there's no exaggeration in that. Seizo really does have a knack for understanding people. The next day arrives, and all the new students show up to check out the school. The council members introduce themselves, and Seizo stands right alongside them, like he's one of their own. Teams are formed to decide who will guide which group of new students around and show them the school. Aika's team includes Sasaki, and they're paired with 4 students, Ino Sasaki, Nakata, and Yama. Sasaki notices the girl shares his surname and jokes about it. Turns out this girl is none other than Sasaki Fuka, Seizo's friend. One of the other girls asks if the two of them are dating, but Aika denies it flatly, saying he's just a good friend and nothing more. Poor Sasaki doesn't know what to say to that. As they show the 4 students around the school, they notice some boys giving Aizawa a hard time, since she looks so young that they don't take her orders seriously. Aika steps in and gives those boys a serious talking to, even telling them that if they keep behaving like that, there's no place for them at their school. Seeing how angry Aika gets, the boys back down and apologize. After showing them around the whole school, Sasaki mentions that they should come to the Grand Festival too, since there's a cultural festival happening soon that their school celebrates in a big way, so they shouldn't miss it. The girls all get excited about the festival. Then Fuka says she hopes Seizo-senpai will be the one to guide her that day. The other girls immediately tease her, asking if that's her boyfriend, and another adds that's the one she talks about all the time, and a third remembers he actually goes to this same school, asking when she's going to introduce them. Fuka blushes and insists they're not in a relationship, at least not currently. Aika is a little thrown off hearing Seizo's name, but figures it's probably a different guy with the same name. After all, the world has more than one Seizo, surely. But wouldn't you know it, Seizo happens to be walking by right then, and Fuka calls him over. Aika's heart practically stops. Could this be the same Seizo they've been talking about the whole time? Fuka, Sasaki, Aika, and the rest of the girls all walk over to Seizo, and Aika is furious enough that she could just about tear into him. Who exactly is this girl, and why has he never mentioned her before? And what did that friend of Fuka's mean by saying they're in a relationship? Poor Seizo is terrified, unsure how he's going to explain any of this. Aika is smiling at him, but he knows this is just the calm before the storm. As if that weren't enough, Fuka's friend pours even more fuel on the fire, asking Seizo directly if he's her boyfriend. Apparently Fuka talks about him constantly, and ever since meeting him, she's become so much more polite and thoughtful, and her sense of style has even improved, and she asks if he'll tell them about the date the two of them went on together to make jewelry. Hearing this, both Aika and Seizo are shocked. Seizo was out with other girls during summer break? Poor Seizo starts sweating, while Fuka just blushes through it all. She tells her friends for the 100th time that they're not in a relationship, but honestly, she doesn't seem all that upset about her friends bringing it up. If anything, she seems to be enjoying it. Her friends keep going, saying now that she's transferred to his school, their bond will grow even stronger. Fuka insists their bond is already incredibly strong, since they spent the entire summer break together, and the moment she says it, she's mortified with embarrassment, and hurries off with her friends, saying she'll catch up with him later. Aika turns to him with a smile and asks, "Oh, so this is what you were busy with all summer?" Seizo tells her he'll explain everything, he just needs some time. Before Aika can get angry, Sasaki quietly slips away too, and Aika grabs Seizo's hand and pulls him off somewhere. Ash Ida, who's shown up by now, is acting just like Fuka's friends did, teasing him relentlessly. He explains how he became friends with Fuka, how he saved her little brother, and the two of them just got close after that. That's the reason he'd go out with her. They're just good friends, nothing more. Aika then says that if he has that much free time, why doesn't he ever come to her house to hang out? At first, Seizo thinks he's misheard her, but Aika repeats herself. He spent the entire summer claiming he was too busy at the bookstore, but if he has time to hang out with Fuka, why can't he come to her house? Seizo can't believe she's actually inviting him over. In all their years of friendship, this is the first time Aika's ever asked him this. How could he possibly say no? So he agrees, yes, he'll definitely come to her house. Now that he's got the invitation, Aika keeps texting him repeatedly, warning him not to do anything weird in front of her mom, and reminding him not to forget to greet Eri properly. Poor Seizo keeps agreeing to everything, promising he won't do anything to make Eri uncomfortable. But she keeps piling on new instructions, don't do this, don't do that, and even tells him she's not forcing him to come. If he doesn't want to, that's fine too. By this point, even Ashida has had enough and she calls Aika directly. She gently explains that she understands what Aika's trying to do. She wants Seizo not to act the way he used to, especially in front of her family, and she gets that Aika's doing this for her family and for him too. But if she keeps treating him like this, he's gonna drift even further away. He's already come a long way from where he used to be. So she needs to be careful about what she says from here on out. And deep down, Aika knows exactly how badly she treats Seizo sometimes, but it's not to make him look bad. There are her own reasons behind it. Finally, the day arrives when he's supposed to go to her house, but Seizo doesn't go. He decides to just work at the shop instead. And when he looks outside, it's raining, giving him one more excuse not to show up at her place. But then he sees Aika herself walk into the shop. Seizo asks her what she's doing there. If she wanted to see him, she could have come on any other day. There was no need to come out in this rain. He's genuinely surprised she'd come see him in this weather, since she never used to visit him like this. Aika claims she was just passing by and figured she'd stop in to see him, and since it started raining, she decided to wait it out there. But that's a lie. She came all the way from her house purely to see him. Before she can say anything else, Fuka shows up too, completely soaked from the rain, and Mina helps dry her hair. Aika asks what she's even doing there, and Seizo explains that she comes by every day. She used to come see him and now she visits Mina too. It's basically a daily thing for her. She comes by to talk to them all the time. This makes Aika a little jealous, and she asks if he really sees her every single day. Sounds like they're really close friends. As Aika turns around, she loses her balance, and before she falls, Seizo catches her. Seeing this, Fuka and Mina suddenly remember they have something else to do and head out, closing the door behind them so the two of them can have some time alone. Aika gets back up and turns away from him, then asks why he didn't come to her house today like he was supposed to. She was waiting for him. Seizo tells her he thought she didn't actually want him there, since she'd been texting him so many rules about what to do and what not to do that he felt like she was indirectly telling him not to come, so he stayed away. Aika goes quiet for a moment, realizing Ashida was right. If she kept acting like that, Seizo really would drift further away from her. She apologizes, explaining that wasn't what she meant. She just wanted her little sister to actually like him when they met, instead of seeing him as some kind of creep. She apologizes for how that came across, and tells him he can come over tomorrow if he wants. He agrees, saying he's ready to come. The next day, he shows up at her house with Ashida, and greets her little sister Eri. But Eri is confused, since she's never seen him before. Ashida introduces him as Seizo Wataru, and that's all Eri needs to hear before she starts playing with him like he's a long-lost sibling, not letting up until he's completely out of energy. Seizo comments that Aika must have her hands full, since Eri is clearly a handful. But Aika explains it's usually not like this. Eri normally plays quietly, enjoys reading books and playing house. This is actually the first time she's ever asked someone to give her a piggyback ride, especially someone she's meeting for the first time. Eri then hugs him again, asking to play some more. Aika can't understand how Eri got so comfortable with him so fast, since she'd never even met him before. Ashida suggests maybe Eri trusts Seizo the same way Aika does, and maybe it runs in the family. Since Aika likes Seizo, maybe her little sister just does too. Either way, Aika is happy that Seizo won over Eri's heart so easily. They spend the whole day playing and having fun, and poor Seizo barely has any energy left to stand. But he perks right back up when Aika's mom arrives. He politely greets her, and the moment she sees him, she immediately knows who he is, smiling and saying, "Oh, so you're the Seizo my daughter is always talking about." He's stunned. Did she really tell her mom about him? What exactly did she say? Just as her mom is about to elaborate, Aika cuts her off, telling her that Seizo needs to get going since it's getting late, and they can catch up another time. As they head out, her mom apologizes for not getting to chat with him properly this time, and invites him to come back again so they can sit and talk properly. Eri also asks him to visit again, and Ashida teases him about getting another chance to come to Aika's house, calling him lucky. Seizo asks Aika what exactly she told her mom about him, hoping she didn't mention how he used to follow her around everywhere. Aika just starts blushing, which makes it pretty clear she only told her mom good things about him. Seeing the two of them so close, Ashida decides to give them some alone time, claiming she has other things to take care of and will head home a different way, though really, she doesn't have anything else to do. She's just trying to help them get closer and heads off on her own. Now that they're alone, Aika tells him she can finally enjoy her school life properly. She finally has so many friends now, she can go out to the beach, do all the things she couldn't do before. Seizo says that's all thanks to him being out of her life, since he used to occupy all her time, keeping her from making friends. But Aika corrects him, he was never the reason. Even if he'd never been part of her life, she'd have still been alone, because she used to watch how hard her parents worked, and once Eri was born, they had even less time. So she decided to take care of Eri herself, so her parents could focus more on work. That's the real reason she never tried to make friends. She could never go over to anyone's house or invite anyone over. But things have changed now. She can go out, invite people over, do everything she couldn't before. Seizo doesn't quite get it, but she's indirectly trying to tell him she might be ready to date now, since before, she couldn't date him simply because she had no time. But maybe now she's ready. Still, Seizo doesn't pick up on it. Aika continues, saying she has so many friends now, everything she'd always wanted, but she still feels empty inside, like none of it matters without him. Seizo can hardly believe Aika is saying this herself. For the first time, she's admitting she actually enjoys his company. Right then, fireworks go off, and startled by the noise, she hugs him. She continues, admitting that she was the one who always told him to stay away, but there was a reason behind it. She wanted him to stop acting like a creep so she could introduce him to her mom, dad, and sister. She didn't want them meeting a boy who follows her around everywhere. She wanted them to meet someone who genuinely cares for her and respects her. She wanted her parents and sister to like him too, and that's exactly why she never invited him over before, worried about what they might think of him. But she can't hold back anymore, because the further he drifts from her, the emptier her life feels. After this confession, the two of them start walking again, and neither says a word. They don't know what to say next. Seizo tries to take her hand but hesitates, unsure if it's the right move. But this time, it's Aika who takes the first step, reaching out and holding his hand herself. And not only that, the two of them finally start calling each other by their first names. He starts calling her Aika again, and she calls him Wataru. It's a sign that the two of them have finally gotten close, though neither of them has confessed their true feelings out loud just yet. The next day, summer break is officially over, and Seizo heads to school. But this time he finds Aika waiting for him, fixing his tie and hair, this time without caring who's watching. They're still not officially dating, but they've finally grown incredibly close. Seizo no longer follows her around like before. Now, the two of them simply walk together, since Aika has finally admitted, at least to herself, that she likes him too. And that's where this season ends.